Okay, so this is the second two problems. So this will end up being video 124, and I'm doing the last two problems on the weekend's assignment. And notice I set them up. It works a lot better when I do that. And hopefully we get a remainder of 0 on both of these problems, okay? So off we go. In a perfect world, like I mentioned before, you get lots and lots of practice, but we're doing this stuff online, and I want to move on and see if we can get the whole chapter of this course taken care of. So anyway, 3x squared into 6x to the fifth, and here you might want to be a little cautious here, okay? And again, you can do it this way if you find anything scary about it. And then I match, and now there's my -2, okay? Whoops, sorry about that. And then this becomes -4, and this becomes x to the 4th, okay? So in this problem, they're very nice to us. We get rid of the first two terms rather easily, okay? We double check ourselves. This times this equals this, and this times this happens to equal this. No guarantee that that's going to happen. And now you're 0, and now I want to bring down this guy and this guy, so I continue the problem, okay? So here we go again. 3x squared here, I'll erase this. Kids don't like any kind of clutter. 3x squared into -9x cubed is -3x, okay? And now I multiply them out to match. Okay, I double check myself, I'll make sure I'm good. There's positive 6x squared. I make sure I'm matching this, the powers, the degree, and there's the opposite here and the opposite here, so there's the 0. Notice how the zeros are going left to right, going away, one after the other. If they don't do that, as we've said, there's trouble, okay? So now this goes into this one time, and that's an x. Okay, easy enough to make a mistake, but this is what high school kids do. What do you want me to tell you? And so this goes into this one time, so the 1 either works or it doesn't, but it works. And there you have a remainder of 0. Okay, and again, this is a polynomial, 5th degree. And notice there was no flip in the signs. The fact that the 4x squared to the 4th went away is not guaranteed to happen when you do this kind of math. So again, it follows instantly that this times this equals this. And notice, those of you who like math and are looking ahead, you could have factored out an x here and done it another way. But that's not their purpose. They're not trying to say that kind of thing. So we'll just leave this alone here. You have a chance to look at it. And now we go on to the next one and move the focus over here to the right-hand side of the whiteboard. And now we go, and here we notice that we're missing powers here, and we're missing some powers here. And we're missing x to the 5th, and here x to the 2nd. Notice I explained to you on the first lecture that that just means that the coefficient is 0, because 0 times any number is 0. So here we go again, same idea. Here's x to the 3rd, and we make sure 3 plus 3 is 6. You learn that math from the product rule, and then this times this is -3x to the 3rd. Now, I pause here, because it's very typical in these kind of problems. The powers don't go left to right simply. So you got to make sure that you matched up the 3x to the 3rd with the x to the 3x to the cube underneath. So there's the opposite there and the opposite there. But don't forget this guy. He's here. There he is. And this becomes 2x to the 3rd. Okay? And now we continue the math. This goes into this, minus 2x times. I pause so you see that. This times this is minus 4x to the fourth. So typically the way you do this is you match it and then see what happens. It either has 0 or it doesn't. You either made a mistake or you didn't. It's either divisible without a remainder or it isn't. It's the way the math works. And so we divided that into that and got that. And let's see where we are here. Then we get here, we get plus 6x, which of course goes with this. So I brought this down, okay? See how I matched it up there? Opposite, opposite. So this goes away, and this goes away, and then you bring down whatever, just like you would in normal math, by the way. And then you're good because this is the same as this, or you can choose one and you'll get the same answer, and the problem's complete when I take the opposites of both. And so even when you're missing powers, notice that this was missing, and this one here was missing, but because there's no remainder, the whole thing worked out perfectly, and your math is complete here. Okay, so that's the assignment that I gave you. That's 3 and 4. You'd be expected to do stuff like that. It's considered excellent practice for guys your age because you get used to the way that polynomials work and the powers and the multiplication and the division and the addition and the subtraction. So one more time, this times this equals that would be the check, which I won't do. Okay, so